another video. Thank you so much for deciding to come back in here, vibe with me. For those of you all that have subscribed, mwah, mwah, mwah. And for those of you all that are just about to subscribe, mwah, thank you so much. For those of you all who don't know, I am in my final weeks of my PhD. I'm actually submitting in the next 2 weeks. Yes, I'm so excited, but I will be submitting in the next 2 weeks. And you know, I'm just like, this last couple of weeks I've just been reflecting on this entire journey and what it is I wish I knew before. And I was like, you know what, I definitely need to share this with you all, because I get so many messages from people. Oh my gosh, you're such an inspiration, I would love to do my PhD. Sis, before you even go and do that PhD, listen, let me just tell y'all that it ain't easy. It's a long journey. And listen, I've done a lot of difficult things. My law degree was difficult. Being a prosecutor was difficult. The hardest thing that I've done in my career is this PhD. No lie. So here are the 3 things that I wish I knew before I started. Number 1, sis, you ain't got time. My PhD program was 4 years. Why did I think that I had all the time in the world? You realize how time flies by, especially after your 3rd year. You're like, okay, I just have 1 more year to write up 100,000 words. So for me, I did really well in my 1st year of my PhD. I was like, you know, really kind of going through the motions of writing. I was super excited. I got my pilot study done. I was able to upgrade in time from a Master's of Philosophy and then go on to doing the full PhD. After that upgrade, it was just such a slow journey uphill. Like, I was crawling. And I think it's because, you know, when you do the upgrade, and for those of y'all who don't know, an upgrade is where you basically defend what your research is going to be on. So it's the 1st year of your PhD, that's when you do that. And that is in the UK system. So if it is, you know, what you're trying to do is good enough for a PhD, you move on to going out into the field and conducting your research. If it's not good enough, well, you just get a Master of Philosophy. You ain't got time. I don't care how long you think your program is, you don't got time, because the PhD is very time sensitive, very time intensive. It requires a lot of reading. Listen, I looked at how many references that I have for my PhD, you know, based on how many academic reads I have. Guys, I have over 1,200 papers that I read in this 4-year period. Wow. I didn't even realize I was reading so much. But that's to tell you how intensive it is, okay? So you ain't got time. Go and read the 5 papers that are waiting for you, okay? The second thing that I wish I knew about starting a PhD is, it is an isolating journey. You don't got classes. In your 1st year, you probably have a couple of foundational courses on qualitative or quantitative research methods. But other than that, the rest of the time, it's you sailing this ship in very rough waters. I was able to cope with it simply because I like my alone time and I like doing my own thing, and I like being able to really immerse myself in reading and research. But it's difficult for you to get people to support you, especially when your PhD or your topic is so unique to you. There isn't anybody else that's doing a PhD like you, right? So, you know, really finding that tribe that supports you and understands your theoretical concepts is difficult to find, and it just becomes isolated, and not everybody is doing a PhD. So finding a support system is difficult. I want to give a huge shout out to my friends, my family, my followers for just always pouring into me and always like rooting me on in this time, because it was not easy. Okay? And the 3rd thing I wish I knew about this PhD is sis gonna suffer from back pain. You are susceptible to suffering from lower back pain, sciatic pain. No one told me. And the thing is, it's because this is a desk job, right? So you're spending loads of time sitting at your desk and you're just typing and you're researching, and most of the time you are not moving from that desk for more than an hour right? I'll be honest, yeah, I used to be one of those people. It so happened that it has caused me sciatic pain, which is that I have pinched nerve. I can't sit for long because my legs start to numb up. And actually, I had to get a standing desk so that I can operate in my PhD office and do work. Since I started the PhD, I have invested loads in my body. I wish somebody told me, get a fund for your body. You need a fund to take care of your body during this PhD. You need a separate from your tuition fees, from your accommodation, from everything. You need a separate fund entirely just to take care of your body, because it has cost me a lot. But now I am healing, I am better, and I understand and appreciate that my body needs to move, and I understand that I need heat, and I understand that I need to just treat myself well, because this body is what is going to make sure that I complete this PhD, because ain't nobody come this far to not finish. Okay? Yeah. The next thing, listen, I think I lost track of like numbers. I'm sorry guys, I don't know if this is number 4. I think it is. But the next thing that I wish somebody told me, especially coming to the UK to do a PhD in a business school, I wish somebody told me that I would be the only black girl in the room. No one told me that that would happen. Yes guys, you can imagine my shock as an island girl from Trinidad and Tobago walking into this classroom and there ain't nobody looking like me. There ain't nobody looking like me, there ain't nobody talking like me. Where y'all at? I literally spent like my first week looking for somebody that looked like me. It did not happen. And I just realized, okay Shelly, you're clearly an academic unicorn. And then that made me dig a bit deeper into statistics. And when I looked at the statistics, I was like, makes sense. Black students only make up 4% of the doctoral candidates in Russell Group universities. And guess what? Caribbean students, they only make up 0.2%. So yeah, complete anomaly. So it was a lot of adjusting. I was so happy when my friend Amaka came in the next year. She's from Nigeria, and as soon as I saw somebody from Nigeria, I was like, yes, finally somebody that I can relate with, my black sister. Yes, finally. And the 5th thing that I wish I knew about this PhD is that the academic world is extremely competitive. Let me sip some tea. Everybody is comparing themselves to each other. Who is publishing what paper? Who is going to which high-end conference? Who has gotten a whatever new academic grant? Who is speaking at, some big event? It is so competitive. I'd rather talk about just the journey of the PhD rather than being so concerned about what somebody is doing and what somebody else is doing. Yeah, so for me, it was just like, wow. As an intellectual, we shout about what it is we know, and that is just a kind of professional culture of academia. And yeah, it's just getting some used to and getting acquainted with. And I can definitely say that when I first got in, I was just a bit like, I don't like this conversation. But then after a while, I just kind of was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna be talking like this. And yeah, especially when you're in a top university, you just gotta be ready and willing to engage in that competitive talk. Next thing I wish someone told me, and this is actually really important, especially when you're conducting your research. Field work takes time, especially my qualitative researchers. Those of y'all that are going out to conduct interviews, surveys, focus groups, listen, get people to be willing to give you their time, to be willing to speak to you. Man, I was in emails upon emails messaging people. Please, can you, be interviewed for my study? Please, can you contribute to my study? Just by having 30 minutes with me. Please, I'm not going to take very long. Listen, for field work, you just got to do what you got to do. I remembered as well, I even interviewed somebody that was like running late for one of his trains. And while he was running to his train, I'm there interviewing him, running with him. Like, you just have to do what you got to do with field work. The next thing that I wish somebody told me about the PhD is that it's very difficult to multitask. And it's because your PhD requires so much of intensive concentration on your reading and your writing. So it's a very jealous mistress. I mean, in the beginning of my PhD, probably like the first 1 to 2 years, I was able to pick up part-time employment because I was working with the careers and employment team at King's. Hello! So in my first 1 to 2 years, I was able to juggle the PhD, word multitasker, and when it came to writing on my PhD, I just could not multitask. As a matter of fact, on Mondays and Saturdays when I do coaching, I don't touch my PhD, simply because my PhD requires me to be relaxed, for my brain to not be distracted on any other matter or material, and for me to be right here and right now with it. And a final thing that I wish somebody would have told me about this PhD is that the hardest part is not the beginning of the PhD. The hardest part of the PhD is actually the end. Yes, the end. There I was thinking, yeah, I've gotten all of the field work done. Yeah, that's fine, I could write. Guys, getting that 100,000 words down, insane, very frustrating. It is tough, especially when you have to write in academic jargon and you have to, you know, write philosophically, especially when you're talking about theoretical concepts. It is taxing. You know your PhD, especially when you're in your final year and in your last couple of months. You know your PhD like the back of your hand. You know every contribution of your PhD. No one can tell you anything about your PhD because you know it so well. And I think that is the frustration, because you can say your PhD's findings in 5 minutes, but you have to write it in 100,000 words. And that is what was very frustrating for me. It's like, I know my PhD, why do I have to write it in all these like fancy words? In the last stretch, you're tired. By then you're tired. It's been 3 years of you doing this. You really want that in your last year you have a lot of words, much more than half of your words down. All right, so good luck to you. Keep writing, keep pushing. So guys, that is the end of this video. I just thought that I would keep it like 100% real about the PhD and let you all know just how my PhD journey has been. It has not been easy. It has been difficult to navigate time, to find time, to keep mentally sane, to find support, to keep myself grounded, to keep my body going, and to protect this vessel of mine that is carrying me through this journey. It has also been one of understanding the nature of the game and the nature of the space of academia. Really a test of you figuring out how bad you want this program, how bad you want to graduate, how bad do you want your doctorate. So there were many times I felt like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. But you know, glory be to God and to my family that we have stuck it through and we have just continued to push forward with this agenda. And to anybody that is listening to me and is thinking about doing a PhD, I hope that I did not scare you. I hope that I just, you know, gave you my experience and you take what you can from it and you learn from my lessons. And you make the best of it, because it is an enjoyable experience. It is definitely life-changing, and it's really honestly for people that love research. If you love research, if you love writing, if you love academia, a PhD is for you. Look forward to hearing from you all. More videos to come. As we continue to progress, you're gonna keep seeing my personality, keep seeing who I am and what I do. And I'm so happy that you all are on this ride with me. Until then, see you in the next video. Mwah.